Hello everyone, Gaara here and welcome to part 14 of my Knights of the Frozen Throne card review, and without further ado, let's get right into it. The very first card I want to talk about in today's video is Frozen Clone. It is the new mage secret. It costs 3 mana like all the other mage secrets. After your opponent plays a minion, add 2 copies of it to your hand. It gets procced the same way as Mirror Entity, but instead of you copying his minion on the board, you get 2 copies of it to your hand. So kind of like a mix between Mirror Entity and Duplicate, and Duplicate rotated out, so you have a way to just copy minions and generate value. You can play around this card with just playing smaller minions, like Patches is like the optimal minion. And you get punished the most by playing Battlecry minions, like let's say Swashbuckler. It's very interesting new secret. I like the design a lot. It will definitely see play. It's very cool to have at least one more mage secret because of the new mage card that was introduced. Very cool card, will definitely see play, so secret mages can play around with all the existing secrets. It's always nice to make it harder for your opponent to play around them. It really doesn't just improve the complexity of how to play against normal secret mage and just secrets in general, but also randomly generated secrets, right? Yeah, very cool card, very powerful card, I would say. The more secrets, the more powerful every secret gets. Will definitely see play. The next card we have is a neutral minion, Death Speaker. It is a 3 mana 2/4 Battlecry. Give a friendly minion immune this turn. This card would fit the best in a deck where you just get board control very easily and you have a lot of minions on the board, and then you can protect one of those minions. So I would say like in a zoo-ish type of deck. Currently Zoo, the actual Zoo deck, is lacking 3 drops, so this would be one of the contenders. There's not too many 2 drops you would like to protect and to attack with them. I can see maybe like a Dire Wolf or a Knife Juggler. In a control deck this is just too weak. It doesn't provide you a lot of value. What is strictly worse with this card compared to a card like Argent Protector is the Divine Shield is just simply better because it's a permanent effect. If this card sees any play ever, I would say it will be played in a zoo-ish type of deck, but other than that I think there should be just better options in the game than to play this card. So the next card we have is a 1 mana Hunter spell. Play that. Trigger a friendly minion's Death Rattle. The effect is very powerful if you have good Death Rattle minions. For example, if you would do this on Sylvanas, it would be bonkers. This on a Kaon is super powerful as well. This on a Highman is still pretty good. This on a Kindly Grandmother is a 1 mana 3/2. That's also pretty nice. But besides that, we don't really have too powerful Death Rattle minions. There's still a lot of neutral minions that are unrevealed yet, so we don't know if we will get some more powerful Death Rattle minions. Blizzard announced that they will push the Death Rattle minions of this expansion a little bit more, so if there is good Death Rattle minions you can play in Hunter, this card is definitely good because of the mana cost. It's very cheap. I can generate a lot of tempo, but if with the only currently existing Death Rattle minions, I think this card would be too weak just because it's too situational. If you only have Kindly Grandmother and Highman, there's just too few targets in your deck where it's actually worth to play this card on. So right now it wouldn't see play, but if there's a little bit more Death Rattle minions, yeah, this card is pretty good, I would say. The next card we have is another neutral minion, Rattling Rascal. It is a 4 mana 2/2. Battlecry, summon a 5/5 skeleton. Death Rattle, summon a 5/5 skeleton for your opponent. So as a standalone this card is really bad because the drawback is huge. 4 mana 5/5 plus a 2/2 body is decent. It's not super crazy, but the drawback to give your opponent is a 5/5 makes this card terrible. So how to make this card playable is to silence it. So if this card sees any play ever, it would be played in a Silence Priest, just to have more option in that deck for viable minions. So if you purify this or if you silence this, it's pretty solid, I would say. So the next card we have is the super anticipated Warlock 3-drop. It is the Wailing Felhound. It is a 3 mana 3/6, which is like unheard of. It is a demon, which is also very relevant for the warlock class. Whenever this minion takes damage, discard a random card, and oh boy, this is a huge drawback. I would easily give this card like much better stats for this drawback, because the opponent can really abuse this. Like, if this is the only minion you will play for the rest of the game, it's not that powerful. It is. People compare this to the 5 mana 8/8 Felhound. I think this is way worse, because you discard cards from your hand, not from your deck, and resources that you haven't drawn are not actual resources. So this is, yes, it works with the discard synergy, but yeah, this card is bad for multiple reasons. First of all, yeah, it helps you to complete the Warlock quest faster, but after you complete the Warlock quest, your opponent can just damage it again and discard your quest, your actual completed quest, and that makes this card really bad in a quest Warlock. You just can't afford your quest to be discarded. So it's just too many. Like, Warrior has a lot of new ways to deal a lot of whirlwind damage, so just discarding your hand should be not a problem. If you play Zoo and you have no more cards past this minion, we take this 3/6 to deal with. I think this card is pretty bad. I wouldn't play it myself. Some people will try it in discard decks, but I predict this card to not be very powerful. The next card we have is a meme card, a priest card. It is a 6 mana spell, Shadow Essence. Summon a 5/5 copy of a random minion in your deck. 6 mana 5/5 is pretty bad, so basically to get value out of this card you have to summon very powerful minions with very powerful effects. So if you would summon an Isharaj, then you have suddenly a 6 mana 5/5 that summons another big minion from your deck, so easy big druid or priest. Or if you would summon a cleric, maybe it's not bad, because then it's very difficult to kill and then you can draw multiple cards from it. Or Ysera, for example, and then you get just the dragon cards. So basically, for this card to be good and viable, you have to really focus on playing a lot of minions with very powerful effects, like Death Rattle minions or minions like Isharaj. So other than that, it's a unplayable card. So this card will see play in either meme decks or very specific decks that build around this card, and those decks will play cards like Barnes as well. The next card we have is another mage card, Breath of Sindragosa. It is a 1 mana spell. Deal 2 damage to a random enemy minion and freeze it. So on paper, dealing 2 damage for 1 mana and freezing it is pretty solid. What makes this card really bad, in my opinion, is a random enemy minion. So basically, if you play against an aggressive deck and you really wanna hit a specific minion, let's say he has Bittertide Hydra behind 2 tokens, then you really wanna freeze the Bittertide Hydra, right? And yeah, you can't target it, so it's pretty bad. I think this card would be good if you could always choose a specific target. What makes it really bad is so many people are playing Dark Reapers and Stonehill Defenders to protect their Mana Tides, Flametongue Totems, Fledglings and all that stuff. I think this card is not good and won't see too much play. It is common, so I can see this maybe being a little bit of a nerf in Arena. I don't know, I'm not sure. I don't like this card too much. The next card we have is the Warrior Legendary Rockface. It is a 8 mana 4/6. Whenever this minion survives damage, summon a random legendary minion. I think this effect is very powerful. It has great synergy with all the new warrior cards that you get. As soon as you damage this minion twice, you get 2 random legendaries. Yes, random legendaries on average are not very good, but it has crazy high roll potential. The thing is, this card will at least summon 1 additional random and legendary. I think you would set this card up with multiple enrage effects. You would equip the weapon, have minions on the board that damage your guy. Let's say you damage this guy twice, then it suddenly is a 4/4, and your opponent still has to kill it, and you got 2 other additional legendaries. It's kind of like a patron that spawns a bunch of legendaries. It works super good with the hand buff mechanic, what people have apparently forgot about. There's a lot of cards that Warrior was one of the tribe classes that has the hand buff available. Just imagine playing Don Hanjo and hitting this card. Suddenly it is an actual win condition, because you need multiple things to get rid of it, and it just keeps spawning legendaries, and then maybe you hide it even behind cheaper taunt minions. So I really like this effect. You can really try to make it work. Very powerful, definitely. I'm pretty sure it will see play in meme decks for sure, in viable decks probably as well. We'll see play in multiple decks. I'm pretty convinced about it. Powerful card. And that's it already for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it as always, and I will be back tomorrow with another card review video with part 15. Time flies. Thanks so much for watching, and see you guys tomorrow.